Ladies and gentlemen, talk about a data dump. You may want to think twice before you flush. It's an incredibly rich data set that you're providing the state at no charge when you use municipal sewers. In fact, the Department of Health and Human Services has just commissioned bids to help scale up a program that uses little biobots to monitor the contents of municipal sewage. And their reasoning is that they want to be able to detect COVID-19 outbreaks using human waste in the municipal sewers. Of course, there's much more to it than this, and we need to talk about it. I'm Christian, and this is the Ice Age Farmer broadcast.
My name is Nusha Gailey, and I'm the co-founder and president of BioBot Analytics. At BioBot, we're building a global human health database, the first of its kind, by analyzing sewage. This is based on a simple system called wastewater epidemiology. Everybody pees every day, and we know that urine contains a rich source of information on our health and well-being. Our doctors look at it all the time, and every day we're flushing this data down the toilet where it's aggregating in public sewers. At BioBot, we're building technology to extract and analyze this information. We start by mapping the wastewater network in a city. This is Cambridge, Massachusetts. We layer land use data and census data over top of the network map in order to understand, if we're collecting a sample from a given manhole, exactly what the upstream catchment is and what the demographics of that neighborhood are. We then deploy our hardware units in these manholes where they hang just above water level, pumping sewage through a series of cartridges. The devices are then removed and the cartridges are shipped back to our labs, where we measure the concentration of viruses, bacteria, and small molecules that are all excreted in urine. Now, the applications are endless.
So there's a bit of an intro from one of the BioBot's co-founders about how the technology works. And the Department of Health and Human Services expands upon this. Quote, data and analysis provided by the contractor's wastewater surveillance, BioBots, will illustrate a more complete picture of local community-level COVID-19 trends, especially where cases were underreported or where communities, for whatever reason, didn't test. So even if you don't test now, HHS is going to be able to come in and start quarantining off neighborhoods or doing whatever they want and just telling you that it came from the sewers. The new program is set to scale up to 1/3 of all U.S. wastewater, comprising 100 wastewater treatment plants across 42 states. Now, that means they're going to be covering about 36 million Americans. That's about a tenth of the U.S. population. All of this data, where's it going? Good question. Here is a piece by excellent reporter Whitney Webb at Unlimited Hangout, detailing that the BioBots will be reporting into a quite secretive HHS platform called HHS Protect. HHS Protect is crafted upon the technology of Palantir, which, as many of you know, is a surveillance company galore funded by In-Q-Tel, the CIA's venture capital arm. So this is a deep state construction from the get-go that now, with the 2020 COVID-19 84, all technocratic agendas rushing forward at the same time, we just use that cover fire and say we're trying to detect coronavirus in the sewage. The problem is that BioBot's own co-founders have already acknowledged before coronavirus that it would be able to track insights on drug consumption, contagious disease outbreaks, or even eating habits at the neighborhood level, or genetic tendencies.
Now, the applications are endless.
Like I said, it's an incredibly rich data set that you submit into the sewers each time you use a city municipal wastewater system. Think hard about what you flush. So we read here that the HHS Protect, again, HHS's surveillance data collection system built upon Palantir, is, quote, a secure platform for authentication, amalgamation, and sharing of healthcare information, combining more than 200 disparate data sources from federal, state, and local governments, as well as the private healthcare industry. So they're hoovering all the data they can, and now even mining every inch of the municipal sewers to see what people are quite literally leaking out to them. You will also note that it was the HHS Protect platform that the Trump administration forced providers to start providing information to, submitting information to, earlier in the COVID-19. This is a big political hubbub at the time. Trump's taking control over the data, but the more significant. It's not a partisan issue. This was a matter of shoehorning all of the data they could get from all medical providers into this new Palantir-based surveillance system. Now, the concept of smart sewers is not a new one, but this is that concept going live at scale. 36 million Americans will now be peeing into a cup that will be collected by the government. And we all know that that's how, as the co-founder told us, there's a ton of data in that. So this is a really stunning thing to see. Now, this is not the first time we've heard the concept of smart sewers. After all, Kansas City developed one starting in 2010, but it was mostly about monitoring the flows and keeping levels from reaching, managing the flow of the sewage. It was never before looking into the sewage to see what people were eliminating from their bodies and then deduce at a neighborhood level their diets, their drug consumption, their health status. I mean, after all, this system can tell if you're eating meat. This is a perfect surveillance system. And that's why I bring it up here. It's not just because I think people should know about it, and absolutely they should, but over this summer, we've also seen the unveiling of Al Gore's new climate tracing initiative, not contact tracing, climate tracing, whereby a network of satellites that would watch emissions across the entire surface of the Earth in real time would go through an AI system and monitor. So you can pick out a cow fart there, an unauthorized plant there. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now, welcome to 2020, being monitored from above and from below. And we have to put an end to this now while we still are able to fight this system before the perfect surveillance is complete. Because if we fail to act now, we will absolutely lose the opportunity to have any say in this. These systems are already going live. And there is a brief window of opportunity now to make people aware of them, to point at the information that's publicly released now and say, do you want to live in this world where you're watched from the sky, from your phones, from every smart grid, where your consumption is monitored and where your sewage is monitored? This is a disgusting concept of reality that the technocrats have engineered here. And if we do nothing, we will walk directly into it. Now is the time to fight. And I just cannot put it any more bluntly than that. So ladies and gentlemen, please spread the word about this perfect surveillance system, all of it feeding the AI. We need to stop. This is ridiculous. We need to stop this before it devolves any further and build real systems where we're all growing our food using regenerative practices. We talk a lot about that, but for now, let's just get the word out, because I am wholly confident that if people are aware of this ridiculous stuff that's happening, these agendas will stop just as soon as they put into practice. Thanks for watching, folks. Please spread the word. You can find this report and all my reports on iceagefarmer.com. And if you value the information that this broadcast brings, please help me keep it running. You can do so through a few different ways that are listed at iceagefarmer.com/support. And I very genuinely appreciate that support. But moreover, I thank you for helping me get out the word, because that's the bottom line. It really doesn't matter anything else at this point if we don't start waking up everyone around us. I mean, this is so off the charts totalitarian that I just have to imagine even the deepest slumber can be awoken at this point. So let's get the word out there. Wear t-shirts, take the battle offline. They own the digital information space. We don't have any more time to squander by studying these things and talking about it and theorizing. It's here now, and the fight is here now, whether you want it or not. Let's take it. Let's get this done, because we have our own future that we want to build, one we want our kids to inherit, and I'm not giving up until we make it. Thanks for watching, folks.